Good evening, humans. TYRANNOSAURUSMOTH here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters Armaggon figure from NECA Toys. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks incredible, and yeah, I'm not usually a huge fan of the whole, like, video game style pixelation cell shading on action figures. I think it's not too bad here. I mean, though it is very, very apparent, as you can see, you know, lots of those squares, diamonds, whatever, kind of everywhere, but it does work, and kind of the further out you are, the less it kind of matters. I guess the biggest offense here is definitely the torso, but you know, I can definitely overlook that. This is a character I've wanted in plastic form for a very long time, and sculpt wise, it's perfect. Like, this looks just like the drawings. You know, I was a full on Sega kid as a, you know, human worm child, and honestly, the one of the few games I was actually jealous of for, you know, my friends who had Super Nintendos was their version of Tournament Fighters, because I mean, they got Armaggon, the graphics were better. I mean, it was Capcom. Overall, just a better game. But yeah, this figure absolutely captures that. It's awesome. I really love the way that like the yellow pops. The red is like really, really nice, very vivid. As you can see, those eyes just really kind of dart out at you. The mouth with all the red in it, just again, just kind of looks great. Got the little red buttons or whatever those are on the side. So it's a really nice, like, just mix. And not only that, but just the base color, that this kind of what I would call a kind of great white shark style gray with the matte finish. Just absolute chef's kiss. Looks amazing. Yeah, just so good all around. I think the proportions are perfect. It's just what it should look like. So yeah, an absolutely amazing looking figure. Really not much to speak of when it comes to accessories here, but we do get some decent stuff. Basically just all hands. And speaking of which, right out of the box, we do get a pair of fists. Then we get a pair of kind of grasping hands. And then finally, we have two different styled hands, where for the left, we get kind of more of a traditional grip, kind of an angled grip. And then for the right, sort of a grip, sort of a trigger finger. So not sure what that's for. He does not come with anything to hold. So I don't know if there's a different plan there, or if we're gonna see a like comic release of Armaggon down the road, which would be awesome. But for now, that will do it for accessories. Articulation balance here are actually really impressive considering the kind of strange form factor here. So as we can see, we can get freestanding kicks, at least temporarily. Usually the weight is definitely going to overtake this. I've had to reset this up a couple times, but we can definitely get that. We got some nice flat feet, which act as a good base. Joints are pretty tight, like nice and dialed in. They feel like they're going to loosen up over time, but I'll address that when that happens. Starting with the head, we do get an articulated jaw, so we see we close that much, open about that far. It is a separate piece, however, it doesn't really move. You can kind of see, yeah, you can wiggle it, kind of, but it doesn't actually articulate. So not going to go anywhere there, not that you would expect to. It would have been a nice addition, but again, just kind of the form factor here. Again, you can see it just kind of like overlaps there, so you're really not going to get too much. The arms, we are hinge and swivel at the shoulders. We're coming up to about there, not full on T, but still decent. We do get bicep swivel. We get double jointed elbows, which are going to bring us to about there, which is very nice. We do get hinge and swivel at the wrists, all horizontal. We get a ball joint at the diaphragm, ball joint at the waist, and we do get some forward. Actually, do we get a ball joint at the waist? No, I'm sorry, that's just a swivel. So we get a ball joint here at the diaphragm, so we're going about that far forward, about that far back, side to side. We do get a rotation there. Actually, never mind, the waist doesn't even move. So all of our articulation is going to come from here. You know, so it moves around. It definitely kind of goes some nice places. Be careful of the hoses here, which are attached to the head, coming into the arms. Like these are all separate pieces, so they do move a little bit, and you know, they have pretty nice tolerance. It's really warm where I am right now, so that's definitely helping. But be careful if it's cold, or just feels like you're kind of testing the tolerance of those. So just something to keep in mind. For our legs, almost full splits, positively beautiful. Front kick is not amazing, but it's there. So definitely not quite 90, but further than I thought I was going to be able to get. We do have thigh swivel. Double jointed knees bring us to about there because all that bulk. For the feet, amazing point, which is pretty much perfect. Get a nice amount of forward too. You get some fantastic rocker. And then for the tail, we are in a ball joint, but we are kind of restricted here just because the sculpts are going up about that far, down about that far, kind of come down the side, and it rotates. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here is with some other various Turtles villains, with a few other different Turtles lines, with some domestics, with some imports, with some monsters. Finally, with Articulate Icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the TMNT Tournament Fighters Armaggon figure from NECA Toys is that this figure absolutely rules. This is a figure that I never thought I would see, just because it's such an obscure character, both from the comics and, you know, kind of a strange inclusion for tournament fighters on the SNES version anyway. But, you know, very much welcome. And again, you know, as a lifelong Sega fan, you know, this is one of those games that was like, is absolutely undeniable that Nintendo got the better end of the deal here. And yeah, I'm just glad that the TMNT Cowabunga collection exists at this point, because now I get to play it, you know, freely, and I don't have to worry about having this or that system. Well, I guess I have it on Switch, I think, but in any event, it is available on multiple systems, so that's pretty cool. And it just rules that I finally have a figure of Armaggon. This was originally part of a Loot Crate, and that was right after NECA bought out Loot Crate or something like that. It was some weird deal, so they were pushing that pretty heavily. That seems to have subsided, and a lot of these exclusives that were in those boxes are now kind of more out there, people who bought them basically to resell them. And it looks like prices have evened out, at least as of me recording this video, because I got this for what it would probably have gone for at retail were it was just a general release, which makes me beyond happy. So if you're looking for this, there is hope. Certainly if you look for this probably about the time this video goes up. So I wish you the best of luck in hunting, because this is absolutely worth picking up. I think it's really cool, even despite the some of the limitations in the articulation, which are kind of expected, to be honest. But yeah, just a cool looking figure. Awesome that it exists, and yeah. So I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining, and if you did, hope to see you back, because we do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So if any of that appeals to you, come on back, let's just talk about some really nice plastic and escape the world for a while. So at the end of the day, I really just hope that you're well, hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.